What's up, YouTube? This is Ultimate Shield 340 back at it again with another Division 2 video. So the reason why I wanted to create this video was to make another extension of a topic that I had already discussed, which was called a chassis by the name of one of our fellow YouTubers by the name of Ronan Kazi had brought that up, and he explained how the chassis was basically a template that he used as a blueprint for creating different kinds of builds. And so in the first video, I showed you how I changed my chassis, which is the On-Going Directive set, from a regular kind of red DPS set into a skill set, a skill damage set. And you can go ahead and look at that video. But in this one, I wanted to show you what I wanted to do a almost red build here, and I'll explain to you why it's almost red and all of that and what that entails. So this is going to be this is my own build. This is for my own something that I created on my own. And I just want to go ahead and say, if you are going to make a build, make sure that you are catering your build to your own personal play style. So even if there is something in this build that you say, hey, I don't like this, I don't like that, alter the build to make it fit your play style. So without further ado, here we are. So I wanted to go with the Gunner specialization for the 10% armor on kill to help me with a little bit of the survivability. And the main hand you'll see here is the Grudge. Now, I'm not really sure why this weapon really gets a bad rap. Personally, I actually like this weapon a lot due to the talent Perfect Vindictive. Killing an enemy with a status effect grants you and all allies within 20 meters, 18% critical hit chance, and 18% critical hit damage for 20 seconds. Now, why did I choose the Grudge? In addition to the chassis that I have decided with was On-Going Directive. Now, for me, in my personal opinion about On-Going Directive is a very support-oriented gear set. And by that, you get the amps, by providing the hollow point ammos, and you are giving your team buffs by amplifying the damage and also giving them status effects with the hollow point bullets and putting bleeds on targets. And by your presence, it's going to allow you to buff your teammates. And I think that set, On-Going Directive, works very well with the Grudge, obviously, of course, because it has status effects, but then also because it also further allows you to use the On-Going Directive set as a buff, as a team support style oriented buff. And that's why I decided I wanted to go with the Grudge. So I chose damage to target out of cover and Perfect Vindictive. Now, one thing that you'll notice here is that in the build, before it even starts get going, I want you to pay very close attention to the critical hit chance and the critical hit damage. Now, I chose a very low amount of critical hit chance. The build's not quite optimized yet, so whenever this goes all the way up, it'll actually pass the 60% cap, and I'll explain how it gets to that point here shortly. But the idea is that I wanted to keep the critical hit chance as low as possible, so by the time I actually proc the Grudge, and you get the critical hit chance, and then I can just focus the rest. The critical hit chance proc is going to get me to that cap of 60, and then I can focus all the rest of the damage to the critical hit damage from both Perfect Vindictive as well as other talents on the build. So that's the idea behind it. That being said, of course, Scorpio Shotgun as the secondary in the event that I need to either burst down a target or I want to, get some status effects going. This is going to be my backup. Also, make sure that you take a note. Once you hit a target with 7 shots, they are going to take 20% increased damage from all sources. So that's going to really help you out a great deal as far as bursting those targets down. So I would use this for like chungas or dogs or any other troublesome targets. I choose the this sidearm with with preservation talent to help further increase my survivability in the event that there's maybe an enemy that's like about to die from a status effect, or I could just shoot it once or twice and he'll die. This will actually give me some armor in the meantime. So I actually probably should swap this out for and actually that's what I'm going to do. I believe I have a reformation, yes. So I'm going to actually use reformation instead to give myself increased skill repair in this build as well. And so I have the Coyote's Mask, weapon damage, critical hit chance, critical hit damage as the mod. Of course, as you can see, ideally, whenever you hit the Pack Instincts as the talent that you'll have here, ideally you want to be between 0 to 15 meters so that you can get the increased critical hit damage. But beyond that, it's no big deal which of the three that you get, although you are specifically aiming for either the be between the 0 to 15 meters or the 15 to 25 meters, so that not only do you get the buff to yourself, but you're also giving that team-wide buff to everybody else, which synergizes very well with the Grudge's talent as well. So then I have the piece that is almost that makes it almost red, which is this blue Gilligard. I wanted to increase the total armor that I have, and then I also chose critical hit chance, critical hit damage, including the wicked talent. Now, I originally tried this with Unstoppable Force, and it is a great talent and really would work well with this. However, unfortunately, you have to stack that, and if your teammates are killing enemies quicker than you, then you're not going to be able to get the full benefit of that. And so Wicked actually provides me with a more consistent source of damage, and the damage numbers in this build are comparable to each other. It just takes me a few more shots to kill a target using Wicked rather than a fully stacked Unstoppable Force. But with Wicked, I don't have to like stack anything. Like as soon as a target has a status effect, I get the full amount of damage for the 20 seconds, and there's no ramp time or anything like that. I also wanted to choose the additional armor just to increase my survivability as well. You are going to get shot. One of the downsides to all red builds is that it does take a lot for you to it doesn't take much for most people to go down, but with this a little bit of additional armor, it's going to help you stay in the fight. And so you have the 4-piece On-Going Directive, critical hit damage rolled across the board, critical hit damage, critical hit damage, critical hit damage, weapon damage, critical hit damage. Again, the reason why I chose the critical hit damage is because using the SMG, you're going to be able to reach that cap of the critical hit chance, and then I wanted to focus everything else on critical hit damage. I did choose the Banshee Pulse as well to provide an additional source of status effect, but also to increase my survivability. If the enemies are stunned or disoriented or whatever, then it allows you to get those shots off and kill a bunch of those targets. And then I chose the Fixer Drone as the secondary. Again, the whole idea behind this is that using the 10% armor on kill from the gunner specialization, hopefully you are going to mow down the targets fast enough where you are going to be able to sustain your own damage. And if the event that you're not going to be able to, you are going to have this fixer drone kind of going on in the background to heal you, and then you are able to proc the reformation talent if you get a headshot in there as well. And that's the reason why you see me switch that for that as well. So that's the build. That's the idea behind the build. And then I'll go ahead and I'll show you some gameplay. Feel free to comment in the description below. What do you think about this build? Do you like it? Do you hate it? And tell me why. So other than that, I will go ahead and show you some gameplay, and I'll see you out there. Peace. So the first thing you want to do is, because you are using a SMG, you want to be fairly close to the enemy within 15 meters to get the maximum benefit. I start off using the shotgun to start the status effects, which you saw me go ahead and get using the shotgun. And so I'm going to switch back to my grudge and try and go ahead and kill this enemy so I can get the hollow points, which you see me do down below. Now keep in mind, while you're using this build, you want to be like medium range to the enemy, so that not only are you getting the maximum accuracy and everything from your SMG and your shotgun, but also you're getting the best benefit for your buffs using the Coyote's Mask. So go ahead and use that to your advantage, and use everything at your disposal to try and do your best. So as you can see here, I was able to dispatch using the help of my teammates a few of the enemies there. One thing that I want you to sort of pay attention to as well is the amount of survivability, because I have the increased, total armor that I got from the Gilligard armor set. It helps to protect me so I don't get down in one shot. But then also it gives my repair skills a chance to sort of take away for my health to come back and sort of protects me from getting one shot below. Many of you who have watched my channel will know, unfortunately, I do have. I tend to get myself into and out of sticky situations using the cover to cover system. So, this is going to protect me as well using that bonus, that armor that I have in the um, gear set to help me make sure that I don't die.
Clear the area outside the bunker entrance.
Heavy contact.
So here you see me use the Banshee Pulse to sort of put the status effects on the enemies there, and then I kill a few enemies as well. You'll notice that all the buffs that I have going on are all going on at once. We have Wicked, we have the Perfect Vindictive, and then I have the Hollow Point Ammo. So at this point, the build is sort of going at full tilt at this moment. So not only am I able to kind of provide that buff to my teammates, to their damage and my own, but also I'm able to continue to get that damage bonus for my own self, and then give that hollow point ammos to myself and my teammates to help us kind of whittle down a lot of these guys before. So again, one of the things that you'll notice here, again, I almost died, but I didn't go all the way down because I was I had that armor. Unfortunately, I was not able to I didn't go down, but I almost did go down. But I'm glad that again, I had that bonus armor, and again, you'll see here that I did not go down because of that armor. So one of the downsides to a lot of full red builds, in my personal opinion, is that it lacks survivability. So it's great that if you're able to kill a lot of enemies very quickly, and that's the point of red builds, in my personal opinion. But what if you're in a bad position, like you see me here now? Like unfortunately, you're not going to be able to shoot and kill these enemies fast enough, where if you're being focus fired, that you're going to be able to kill all these enemies fast enough to get the benefit of your armor on kill from the gunner specialization. And then you likely will go down unless you are using a shield and all these other things. And so just something to think about, and that's the reason why I changed it to have that blue piece in there to increase the survivability, so I can get that flexibility while also dealing a lot of damage.
They've managed to compile a ton of corrupted data from the Shade network servers. I had no idea Black Tusk had access to this kind of digital forensic software.
So here you'll see me, I did notice that was a dog, but I did realize that after the skill fired, and so I switched over to my shotgun to not only mark the target, but have the increased damage to that target using the Scorpio debuff that we have there. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same here for this dog as well. Go ahead, hit him with the Scorpio to get the debuff rocking, and then also it will shock the target as well. And then because that dog died using a status effect, it was marked using ongoing directive, and I am also able to get those hollow point bullets. So I just wanted to make you aware that although you don't have anything directly to, like, say like disrupt the electronics or anything, you can use that combination of the Scorpio and your main hand to sort of lock those dogs down, at least temporarily, and then increase the damage that you do to them, and then knock them out as soon as possible.
System malfunctioning. System restored. Vital signs critical.
So one thing that you'll see me do here is that I almost die. I pull out my pistol and proc reformation, so that I can get the bonus healing from that. I actually forgot to mention that if you're going to use the reformation, you must have the pistol still held in your hands in order for the talent to continue to take effect. So after you get the headshot in, you still have to hold on to the pistol until you get the desired healing. So just something to kind of keep in mind. Don't switch weapons, otherwise you lose that buff. Now, one thing I want to mention while we're here is that, I just want you to pay attention to the buffs and everything that you see down at the bottom of my UI indicator, right below my health bar. Is that I always want to try and keep a, running tab of, is the build, how effective is the build. So whenever you're, making your own builds, or you're testing your own builds and things like that, you want to test and make sure that, whenever you are in the middle of things and you are, trying to achieve your desired effect using your build, are you getting all the buffs and everything that you are, intending to do, and how long are you able to keep it up? As you can see here, I have Wicked that is active right now, and then my Coyotes buff is going on. Unfortunately, at this moment, the buff for the Vindictive is not in play at this exact moment, but just something to keep in mind throughout this entire video. Just keep that in mind, that you want to make sure that you're trying to keep up those buffs as much as possible. It just so happens that these enemies that are kind of down in this hallway, there's a lot of like big name enemies and stuff like that. My teammates are killing the enemies a little bit quicker than I am able to actually kill them with. So although it's not like a terrible thing, but just something to keep in mind, that anytime you're testing your builds, make sure that you are keeping the eye on. Is it synergizing the way it's supposed to? Is it doing everything I want it to do? As you can see here, I have the buffs active, Vindictive and Wicked. So right now it's in full tilt, but just something to keep in mind throughout not only this video, but also in general, whenever you test out your builds, make sure that you got it the way you wanted to get it. And so right here, you see me use the opportunity to use the specialization weapon. I take it out and I try and burst down the targets that come out of the door, as you can see. So again, I did make very specific mention in a few of my videos in the past where I said we don't use the specialization weapon enough. And that's me doing that as well. Practice what you preach. So again, just want to make you aware, if you see a good opportunity for you to use your specialization weapon, I highly recommend that you do that, because it helps you a great deal, and you are able to sort of mow down a lot of those big name enemies very quickly, like Chungas. They're Chungas, or those dogs and warhounds and things, are great targets to use the specialization weapon on if you have the ammo for it. So this next room is actually pretty tough, generally speaking, because the room is so small, and teams usually have a tendency to sort of get overran by the enemy team in this room. One of the benefits to this build, especially using the Banshee Pulse, is that you have the opportunity to CC a lot of the enemies as they come out the door. So that's going to go a long way in helping you make sure that you stay on top of things and you don't get killed. So again, you see me use that Banshee Pulse here to great effect, kind of taking some of those enemies out. Right now I'm going to focus on the Chunga, since that is the big target, that's here. So, and you see I lower a lot of my health. So right now you see me switch over to the handgun to proc the reformation talent. I'm going to, of course, knock down the little enemy turret thing, drone, and then you see me proc the reformation talent, and my health bar is going to come back rather quickly. So um, just, use everything to your build to your advantage. Again, I already talked about this in one of my previous videos about your secondary weapon as well as your handgun. Use that to your benefit, and so use it to round out your build and try and use that to whatever you have, so that you can sort of be able to address all issues that come up with the build or any shortcomings that the build has. So for me, I know that one of the shortcomings of the build is that if you cannot kill the enemy quickly for whatever reason, just like any red build, then you're kind of in trouble. And ideally, you're going to be in a great spot where you're going to be able to mow down a lot of enemies very quickly. But in the event that you can't, what are you going to do? How are you going to sustain yourself in the event that you run into a similar problem like you see us here? So what you do is you use that secondary to address the issues of your build. And so for me, that issue was, how can I do, what can I do to sustain myself through a prolonged engagement? And that was reformation, to proc that talent to get my health back as soon as possible, to then go back on the offensive.
Fast on this. There should be more activity deeper in the bunker. Stay alert, Agent.
So this room is also very tough. Again, I already knew we were going to go against a bunch of dogs and everything. So again, you see me use the specialization weapon to great effect to try and burn down a lot of these targets as soon as we can, especially since they're going to be sort of CC'd by the explosions of the other dogs. You might as well just go ahead and use it to great effect while you have that opportunity there for you, because once they start, getting up and everything, it's going to be really tough for you to maintain the damage output, so that those dogs don't walk around, flank you and shoot you just like just like they did there for me. So just be careful, and try and do your best to survive and try and burn down those dogs or chungas as soon as possible. Unfortunately, I do go down. The enemies came out that door, and what I should have done is I should have backed up a little bit while trying to burn down the heavy targets and things. But that it's unfortunate, but it's just one of those things. So as you can see, my teammates were able to get me up and rally, and because we were able to do that, I was able to help shoot the Chungy in the back and create the the hollow point bullets, and then also give my team the buff of perfect vindictive as well. So that actually worked out in our favor. But something to think about, something to worry, be mindful of if you are in this room. So just be careful. So we're in the boss's room. My teammates set up because we all know that they're going to come out this door. Of course, you use the Banshee Pulse to CC as many people all as you can all at once. For whatever reason, the boss just runs out the door, even though he's supposed to technically be CC'd. But it's okay. We're able to burn him down very quickly, and then we're able to clean up the rest of the ads here. So anybody who's watched this video up until this point, I want to take the time to thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I appreciate you all, commenting, liking, and everything like that on these videos. So I really appreciate all that you do. And yeah, I'll go ahead and let you see the damage numbers at the end so that you can sort of compare how this build stands up to typical other DPS. Other than that, this is Ultimate Shield 340 signing off, and I'll see you in the Dark Zone. Peace.
An agent has left your group. You are now group leader.